We talk. Hey, you made it. Take a breath. This is your moment. Right here, right now. We talk big dreams, small steps, real days, messy hearts, and finding our way. Welcome to this big life, where the little things change everything. Pull up a chair, press play. Let's groove, let's live, let's live. Yeah, this big life.
I thought they should just call it a melon. That's
I
tasty.
know. I know a lot of cars like
We actually, I have to make a confession. We recorded episode 4.
Yeah.
We forgot to connect the microphone.
Yeah.
So,
So
they look right. They look good, one. You look good. I look absolutely shocking, Siobhan.
yeah, like she has not loud voice.
Hadn't dose on me. I am over it, but I'm still congested in the nasal passage. So if you think I'm snorting,
I'm not sure if it is a dose. Like I just think now it's withdrawal from the drink.
no, it's not. Sure, I had it before a drink.
No, but every time you go away, like you.
Oh, every time I go, no, there's the willy flu. Well, there's the willy flu is different. The willy flu is different. I go to Willy Clancy Week in July for 9 days of pure and absolutely unadulterated crack. Not the crack as in narcotics kind, crack as in tunes, dancing, music, singing, laughing, pints. And I come home on Monday, and on Wednesday I have to get an antibiotic. Pneumonia nearly. Oh, pneumonia. Anyway, I'm okay because I'm keeping myself well oiled.
Look at our man.
But I knew merch, look. This big life.
There you go.
And we're on the opposite sides in the picture now.
Yeah.
I think
So we're hydrated and all. So
hydrated and all. Ready.
we're very posh now, aren't we?
Always posh.
Very posh. Anyway, let's get back to it. So thank you so much. Everybody sent us in a lovely message, emailed us, got in a few DMs. Actually, do you know what? Actually, a few people said that we were the female version of the two Johnnies.
Yeah.
So that was a compliment.
That was a compliment, yeah.
So if the two Johnnies is watching us or hears about us, or if you know the two Johnnies, tell them to get in contact with us. We can do a show together.
Didn't come on our show. Didn't come on our podcast.
They can go on our podcast.
Imagine.
Yeah. Or if you'd like us to come on yours,
No problem.
we can go on yours. There's no problem at all. We're not shy.
No.
Like, honestly, we want to try and give us an experience.
Love.
I do love the two Johnnies. But you went to that, didn't you?
I went to the two Johnnies a few times, and I was on the TV show.
Yeah.
But
But that's not far from. That's not far from us.
I actually went to the. No, it's in. Oh God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
Well, I can see it. Plays.
So, like, we don't even have that far to travel with two Johnnies. If you want us to go, there's no problem.
Actually, it was only a day's pay, lads. A day's pay. Because the day I went down to the recording of the show, the producer texted and said, "Can you bring?" It was a local girl who got onto the parish quiz, and so she went down and she wanted to bring people with her. So she asked us to go. So we said to go, and then they got my number and they said, "Do you know anyone that will do this?" So I said, "Yeah, whatever." Yeah, they said, "Would you partake in a fashion show?" Well, I said, now that you mention it,
Well-
I'm actually a curvy lady, so unless it's hats and handbags, I doubt we can get anyone to fit me. And to fit me. So how long down it was this couture manure was the fashion style. It's just make you up things, and something that fitted me, like to make you up things. But when I got down there, one of the costumes didn't work, and I spent the day sewing CD discs.
Well, I
onto
definitely
the
think.
dress.
Well, I definitely think we're going to have the two Johnnies in this.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
only
we
three
pick up that.
lads.
Yeah, well, even if you don't know it, they can actually get us. We've only been chatted to the place.
No, I take it on the mind.
So I got one of the day that was sent to us. We got some gorgeous messages from some gorgeous people.
Well,
I have to
that's
say.
yeah.
Lovely and very positive. We haven't had any negative. The comments on it's after me. We've had some lovely
I'm afraid
comments.
to open the Spotify in case it starts playing in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some of the comments on the first episode, I mean,
Continue to comment, ladies. Keep us up to date.
yeah, keep us
with
there.
whatever is happening in your lives.
With over 100 comments, ladies, you're excellent. I'm so happy to hear you on the podcast. I know how funny you both are. And we miss hearing your very best of luck to you both. Love the conversation, so really engaging. Didn't manage to listen to this live we'll put on the car when I was driving home. The albums are all about both of you. And you're both so well doing such naturals, always love chatting. Nicholas is super chatter. Yeah, great chemistry, best of luck. Well done, girls. Siobhan, I love your jacket, and someone has been looking for it on Shein, so that was the one you on the first episode. I could listen to you both all day. Loved it. Oh my God, I'd listen to you all day long. Looking forward to the next episode. I mean, this goes on.
Oh, it's fantastic. And thank you for that. So if you made a comment,
yeah, thank you so much. And our first episode, some of us celebrated the launch in style. Where did you go, Siobhan?
I just went for a little night away. I just felt it was very appropriate to celebrate the moments. So I headed off to Fate. Like, now there's two places, if you follow me, you'll know that there's two places I tend to go to.
Yeah.
Westport being one of them. The lads in Westport, I love them to bits. They're like my family. We've been going there for 20 odd years. Love, love, love. It's an apartment we stay in Westport. That's the helm. I'll give the lads a shout out. They're absolutely gorgeous fellas. If you're going to Westport and you're going along the quays, certainly check the helm out.
Is this the place where you're going and your man says, "Where are you going today?"
Yeah, he'd say to me, "In the name of God, Siobhan, where are you going tonight?" And I get in, and I'd be all dressed up and just going, "Where in the name of Jesus are you going, Siobhan?" Anyway, look, that Shane is always like absolutely.
But he means it in a good way.
Oh yeah, absolutely gorgeous, lovely. So Shane and his daddy down there, absolutely lovely people. Anyway, Fate Legley is my second. So Fate Legley is a little bit kind of nice. It's a little bit, it's lovely. Yeah. And I always get the upgraded room.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But he ran away somewhere and Siobhan be booked into a lovely 5-star surgery, 4 poster bed, and I'd be in a tent or in a caravan or on an airbed or wherever I'm getting out.
Do you know how is a guy in the Parsons house who did a charter to guide?
Oh, my use.
This kid was to say, "Where are you going this week?" And then it's on me, "Oh, where are you going?"
Yeah. Opposite ends of the scale, like, you know, I'm just happy what's allowed.
I know, I don't love. I didn't go to a B&B. Now, no disrespect to B&Bs. I just like my own bathroom, and I like to feel I'm in the place on my own. Like, I don't like to stay with somebody else. I feel like that's going to your auntie.
Well, you see, the thing about B&Bs now, I think the problem is for me is that most is now Airbnb. So if you're looking for B&B, they're on, and some of them are sitting into booking.com. So we're looking, but Airbnbs are not just B&Bs. They're actually people who are just letting a room out in their house.
Oh, so you don't get the whole place for the Airbnb?
No, you don't get a house.
Oh,
just,
I thought it was in the Airbnb,
because
with you.
Speaking of Three Johnnies, I went to Midline Park one time to see them in Wexford, and we were coming back from Labashida. We had a lovely digs in Labashida.
I think the two Johnnies always did a trip out to their show.
To Swans.
Swans or the podcast. I think they definitely
all something.
Yeah, I definitely think the female version of the two Johnnies.
I said, anyway, I was going to see the two Johnnies in Midline, so there was not enough staying much for the wall budget, so we got this room in an Airbnb, right? It was my first time to book an Airbnb, and definitely my last, because it was her son's bedroom. And she had took her teenage son out there. Now, I was terrified, first of all, that the bed would be strong enough because of a teenage boy's bedroom.
Well, if you just while we're coming to my room,
into the bedrooms.
Into the bedroom in my head.
Well, we wouldn't give you the high most days, but it had still all his belongings in the room. Like, he was just literally shoved out for the night. So we got the room for the night. And I never slept with Link. I just felt so uncomfortable. So that was finished. I said, no, I'm not doing it. Then another time we booked, actually, we were going up to Mundrum. We couldn't get a bed on the Sunday night. And we booked in this place on Airbnb. And when we got there, we got to the door of the place, and the banger ash nearly knocked us out. I said, get back into that car. And I couldn't get away quick enough. And when I went to go away, didn't go down off the side of the path, and the car got stuck on the path. Oh. And I had to get Ben had to get out and try and lift. And then the next thing, they tore up. And then about 8 or 10 hippies came out, stoned down their mouth. Don't worry, man, we'll get you going. And I was like, oh, just get me out of here. So we ended up moving up to the Great Northern. We got a night stay in the Great Northern instead. That room came vacant, so we're lucky. But yeah, I just do not like I want a room to, like, I
No,
don't mind sleeping on an airbed in a house that we've rented. Although I'm saying that I've had a couple of dodgy experiences over the years at the flat. Like, accommodation has never been my
I know, I understand that,
dream.
but I think if if I'm going away, I certainly like to have my own room and my own loo. Years ago when I first went away, my first holiday that really was to the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
And myself and himself went. And you know, in the Isle of Man, if you're aware of the Isle of Man, so a lot of what they call hotels is like what we call B&Bs. So they're all along, let's say, the front there, and gorgeous, but they're like old stately homes transferred into hotels.
I've never been.
I love it. Love it. I have to
Must
say.
go.
Anyway, but we went, and it was in like one of these old houses. So the toilet was up the hall, a big long hall, and then we had the room, and in the room was a sink. So I have to be honest, during the night, I didn't go up the hall. I told them not to I told them not to go the bucket.
Why didn't you just go in the bucket?
I never thought of that.
How many I'm thinking of that now?
I went, oh, you just went shooting. I suppose I wanted to see, because like if you around the tap, it was like flushing it, wasn't it? So
I went in the bucket and emptied the bucket into the sink.
well, cool and all that, but then I had a few friends and stuff, and I was only young. And you know what, my mum, like that day, because like it was just Friday, the sailing was on Good Friday night, and we were off on that little adventure, myself and the Willie, and Mammy brought us to confession. So she was making us kiss the
Confess
cross.
your sins beforehand.
Yeah, to confess. So like,
I'd say
so
confess before.
I didn't like telling the priest I'm to go and come to do.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So they make well, honestly, so that's I am guilty of that.
So, well, I don't feel too bad about being in the bucket then, it's flat.
No, I'm guilty of that. So no hands up.
That's the one thing, like, and the other thing, I stayed in the flat actually in Wexford. The first year was in Wexford, wherever that, 2 years ago. And booked the B&B, Airbnb, second time to book Airbnb. Went down and he said, grand level toilet, great, right beside the bathroom.
But this is only on the last one, isn't it? A couple of years ago.
20 years ago.
Yes, I remember that.
I went down and there was no toilet beside the bedroom. It was down the stairs. Excuse me. It was an old house. So it was very dark. He never left one light on. Not one lamp. Nothing. Not
was he in the house as well?
He was in the house as well.
Okay.
So if I needed to pee, and when I drink, I pee a lot, I'd go up and down that stairs with a lamp of my phone because I couldn't even down.
No,
So-
no, I have to say no. I wouldn't like to say no.
Excuse me, I'm talking now.
No disrespect to anybody or a B&B, but I just like to go have my own room, my own toilet, and like when I'm away, and you know yourself, if you have a few people staying in the same place as you, and you want to go to the toilet, and you want to be a little bit longer than a little bit.
That's a whole conversation.
You know, you don't want to be.
I'll have to get a speech.
No, seriously, you don't want to be. Look, she's me here
I
to
know.
yourself. You
Yeah.
don't want to actually be going and like in the loo, and you feel like there's somebody waiting on you, or there's somebody like you're taking too long, or them kind of things. When I'm at home, that's fine, no problem at all. They'd even talk to you outside the door. That's absolutely perfect, no problem with that. I talk to them through the door. But when I'm away and you feel like there's other people waiting on you, I think that's no thanks.
But that's number two.
Yeah. Well, number one, it doesn't take that long. Like you're only a few
No, because it's that even if I'm out in public, I can't choose a public toilet for number two.
Oh no, I wouldn't use it for the
No.
time number two.
I'd be actually mortified.
No,
I'd have to wait.
because there's a gap underneath the door and there's a gap at the top.
I feel really, oh God, even when I used to manage a pub in Leash and had
Like you have to flush the toilet when you be doing
and
it.
toilets in the pub. But
No,
there's
you have to flush the toilet when you be going to number two.
like trying to get rid of the man. Come on. Extend that. It isn't more.
Yeah,
It's just more.
just
Because I'm in the house. What are you? I mean, you're in the core.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what are
yeah.
you talking? In the
Bullshit. I don't like
no,
that.
you're not taking in the public toilet because you're the gate with gaps underneath the door. So I'd be thinking, little bit when you're flushing the toilet because it make the noise. And then stop for a second if there's somebody else's toilet, then wait till again, then flush it again. Like that's the only way I could think of doing it. Because I'd be taking a gap at the top of the gap.
Sometimes you can control things that way because that wouldn't happen for me. Like I'd be in and out.
You could just shove the two cheeks in your ass to get in.
No, it doesn't happen. Anyway,
And
I used to work in a pub and the pub, they had an apartment upstairs. So I had to walk down the hall, go through the keg room, out the back, go up the stairs, unlock two doors and go into where the toilet was, rather than using the toilet right beside me when I needed to go.
Well,
It'd be all right, but not
at least you felt more secure if you were after doing all that, because you knew not too many would go to all that effort to go.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in fairness, that's okay. But
I-
yeah, no.
I would literally
No, anywhere.
Yeah, I'm no good for that. I just
Yeah, no, I know. I won't either. I won't
but
either.
Anyway,
No.
talking of messages, we had a lovely email in. The first email, we got a couple, but this is the first email we got. And it was from someone. Now, we're not going to read out the name, but we will read out the email because that was lovely. Said they're delighted to hear us back together, and they definitely missed us. And they were delighted to hear about the podcast, and they want to know what time on Sunday morning. So it comes out on a Sunday. It could be released in the early hours of the morning, or it could be like 9 o'clock in the morning, but it's always on a Sunday morning.
Live to your airwaves.
Live to your arrows. It says, as Corvey girls, I would be interested in how your life was like growing up. I found it tough and was bullied. In my work life, people thought it was okay to joke around me and tell the fat jokes. I won't even start with the dating game, but now at 63 years old, I am who I am. I'm happy in myself. I have a good life and lots of people around me who love me. But some memories are hard to shake off.
Yeah, I think that's very sad, Nicola. I think, 63 years of age, that, that you had that experience. I just think, for one, people are so cruel, really. But I have been, I would say I'm certainly the butt of some jokes over the years, I certainly would say. Probably they didn't tell me. I always felt like I fitted in nearly. Do you know what I mean? Or somebody
Yeah.
tell me a story that I was after doing something, do you know what I mean? Oh, they heard I done such a thing and they'd describe me as the fat girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I don't.
no, not honestly, but like I just feel that that's very sad that you went through the dating part of your life, or you went through the work part. Like even the work part of your life, the place where you spend most of the time. It goes certainly in earlier years you will have, because you got to work full time now. The most of the time you feel that like that people have judged you like that, or people have. That's very sad. That like I would definitely say to you that I have said about myself things about being bigger,
Yeah.
rather than wait for somebody else to say it. I just kind of
I suppose you preempt, you say, right, you turn yourself into the joke rather than giving out something.
Exactly. Give
And in that way,
give
it's
somebody else
like,
that space.
yeah, you think, well, I have the upper hand now because I made the joke. But actually, it's not okay to say that. It's okay to say, if someone says something to me about my mate, I say, listen, not okay. Not okay. I mean, a lot of things, don't just focus on the one thing that you see.
Yeah. I think that's very sad that, like, that you get
But the dating game is impossible for everybody. Doesn't matter whether you're plus size, whether you're, weight, age, nothing. It is horrific. I've dated every decade of my life. I have been dating.
See, I haven't.
Except the 50s. I'm in year 51 and I've been married for 2 years this year. So far, Ben, you're doing a good job. You're holding on to me. But a dating game is a lack of knowledge.
It's
Swipe. And that's exactly what you are. You are literally just a swipe, you're a number. Most weddings, obviously, that I do, I'll be chatting to the couple and say, how'd you meet? And the majority of them meet on Tinder, Bumble.
Isn't that gas?
Yeah, and Plenty of Fish was the thing in my day. I went on more dates, Siobhan.
Were you on a dating site?
Yeah, I was on all of them.
Were you? I was never on a dating site in my life.
Sure, when did you go to dates? Wait, did you like it? Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I often even, if you're having a conversation, and it has come up in conversations over the years, different people on dating sites, and I can't even get into that conversation. So I often thought maybe I download it just to see what's on it. And then I said, oh my God, if I download it, and even if I never done anything on it, is that not a bit because I'm married? But no, it's not really. It's not really.
If I thought Ben Conley downloaded the dating site,
I really probably sitting beside me, and when we downloading it, probably together.
Well, I often said to men, we should download Tinder for the crack some night and see who's on it. But I wouldn't be arsed.
And do you know what? I was talking to a girl actually only recently, and she was telling me there's this site that you can check and see, is there somebody on these dating sites? She gave me the name of it and everything, and I have to say, she was telling me that you can check and see if they have
a girlfriend. It's Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, and you can see if they have a girlfriend and if they're on different dating sites. So I'm thinking that's investigating nearly.
I think that's wrong. It's have we been dating the same man? And I'll tell you why I think it's wrong, because there is innocent people getting put up there out of some spite.
Yeah.
They don't. You can post anonymously and say, any tea on this man or any tea on this woman.
But I
because
just feel
anyone
like,
else.
have we lost that? Like, so let's say now, and as I say to you, it's completely out of my comfort zone or league or anything else. I know nothing about it. But if you are after meeting somebody on Tinder and you have to go to all that, Tinder or anything, have to go to all that to figure out are they definitely who they say they are or not. Like, I'm just wilted. I don't want to know at that stage. Like, my thing is, and do you send the message and then say, okay, where are you? Can we meet somewhere? Because I just feel I'd have to meet them to get a real idea of what they're like.
The thing about it is the dating side, that thing you're on about, shabby dating the same guy, they're people who have been on dates with people. But again, I find that is a lot of serial daters, maybe men and women, who are just kind of going tipping around and here, there, and everywhere. And they think they're looking for something, but they're not really, because if they're on that investigating somebody, then they're everybody's doing something wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I just think if
If
you
you
had a
meet somebody-
conversation or you met someone in the shop,
you
or,
know,
you know what I mean, or you met someone in the pub, you
Yeah.
guys were having a chat. I just think you get to know somebody like that. I don't ever.
I lost service, man.
That's what I mean. So
There's so many out there. I mean, I remember a talk.
I'm like a dime, so I'm like,
Yeah, you're like a dime. So. I remember talking to someone, and she was with a fella for a year, and he was, he was working up in Dublin. We'll say, I don't know where it was, but we'll say he was working in Dublin. She was living in Limerick, so he could only come down on his days off, or he'd come down whenever.
yeah.
Anyway, it turned out he was married with a couple of kids, and he was actually with the wife the days he wasn't with her. So
Catfish.
yeah, complete catfish is real. And again, going back to our friends, the two Johnnies, if you listen to their podcast,
One of them got catfish, didn't they?
yeah, Johnny B,
Yeah.
and it was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that episode?
I did listen to
There
it.
is
Yeah,
3 episodes of the catfish episode on the two Johnnies.
I
and
think
it
it's
was
horrific. It's
yeah.
horrific.
It was horrific to the lengths that
They were going
they
to.
went to, yeah. And the only thing that bothered me is because it was a female that was doing it, they weren't reprimanded. If that was a fella, their name would be named and shamed.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right what they did. You have to listen to it. It's very hard to explain. There was so many elements to it. But that is what you're up against. That's real life dating. And it's nothing to do with your size, your status, nothing.
I mean, he's someone that's out there. So, you know, I mean, he'd have experience of life in general. It wasn't just somebody sitting in a room like going, and I never go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
This is somebody who's living life, but they were so real. Well, there's 2 elements.
scary.
Yeah, there's 2 elements to it.
Well, I know they were real, but
They were
scary.
so they had it down to a T of fine art. This was their life goal, was to create this persona. And then numerous, multiple personalities they created to keep it real. That's one side. On the other side is Johnny B obviously was at a point in his life that he felt he needed somebody. So
Yeah.
something looked appealing. It happens us all. And it happened to me. I mean, I went out with a fella, my mother hated him. She used to turn paper, pick up the paper when he come in. I said, "Well, just put down the paper and talk to him." And she said, "I'm just reading it." I said, "Well, turn it the right way up." And she was so hell-bent on ignoring him. And I went out with him for a good while. And I didn't feel a connection, but I felt it was better than having nothing. I was at a really kind of lonely
Yeah.
point. in my life.
See, that's, and you can't help loneliness.
No, you
I
can't.
mean,
But
loneliness.
it's the biggest, loneliness is the most dangerous thing to feel. And and people would tell you that I'm a very strong, independent person. This same man actually grabbed me by the throat one night and put me behind the wall, had an argument in his partner to Dublin. And I still stayed with him for a couple of months after that.
Yeah, you see, that's the other thing. That's the flip
yeah,
side of that,
it's,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's
Because
loneliness.
it is. And you see, I don't ever, like, so it's very hard for me to talk about that because I met Willie when I was so young.
Yeah.
So I would have had what we would call, kiss chase boyfriends when I was a child.
What?
Like kiss chasing and don't tell me I didn't play kiss chase.
Kiss chasing.
Yeah.
Too fucking
That's
lazy, Joan.
I was kind of wild. Like Jesus Christ, me.
I sit chasing, Joan. Could have been lying on the couch chasing.
No, kiss chasing. Well, you had to when you kissed him, obviously, when it was all very
Yeah.
innocent.
Yeah.
So I would have had boyfriends then. When I was at school, I would have had boyfriends. Like I'd one little boyfriend who cycled from Blanchardstown because I went to school at Coolmine and he cycled from Blanchardstown every weekend. And then I hit on him after a while because I didn't really like him. And then so another man, boy from Trim, and he used to come down from Trim and he'd hitch from Trim, and which was like 20 kilometres away, maybe even more. And then he came down a couple of times and we'd go for a walk and whatever else. And then I go, oh, I don't really like him either. But you know what I mean? So they were all like, you're like kiss chasing boyfriends, like, you know what I mean? Shit, my environment. And you were like, you were 13 or 14, like, had your
No.
boyfriend.
No.
Like, yeah, did you
When I was
not?
13 years of age, I went to the flat in the back of a car with 3 middle-aged people to find my mother and father in Kilkenny. And I slept in the back of a Mazda 3 with my mother and my father and Nancy Lynch.
Yeah, you see now, so
We 2 different lives.
So we would have, because I grew up in an estate. So we would have had Spin the Bottle, we would have had Kiss Chase and them kind of things. And never many different boys, girls. There's many different. You just kissed because you caught them and that was it. There was no right or wrong. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's, it's not like it is now, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was all very innocent. But I'm just saying to you, like, so then I met Willie and then, which I was very young. And then,
How did you meet? Now, we had a question actually in from us listening.
how did I
He
meet
wants to
Willie?
know, how did we meet our partners?
Okay, so how did we really? So at them times we used to go to the club, and the club is the county club, the Vortex nightclub. So anyone that's around the Mead area will know of the Vortex. Anyway, so I met Willie and himself and his friends. I think his friends dared him to ask me to. I suppose now that'd be really frowned upon, but they dared him to ask me to dance the
Why?
sunset. Well, because you're not supposed to do them things because it makes it into something wrong to person, doesn't it? Like,
Well-
if I dared you to do, I dare you to do, well, why would you dare me? Just go over and ask, like, you know what I mean? So they dared him to go over and they thought I'd say no, but I actually said, yeah. God, that was very free, wasn't it? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we danced the slow set and then he went about his way and I went my way. And then he came back for the second slow set and we had a little chat. And I probably gave him a little peck on the cheek or a little kiss or whatever you done. You know what I mean? There was none of, like, it wasn't. You went into the club. There was none of that over
I've
there.
seen you down kissing things, Siobhan.
Oh, yeah, but you told him that, buddy. You told him that. So anyway, he's like,
Swinging him like, love the dog. No.
like she was really sheltered. Anyway, so that was God. Then we were coming to go home, and really had, I don't know if he had a girlfriend. At this stage, I didn't know. And again, it would have been one of those little kind of kiss chase girlfriends. Do you know what I mean? How old? Like, he was only still young or whatever, right? So it wasn't serious. Anyway, so I was getting on the bus and he says to me, will you meet me on Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. Anyway. And I was getting on the bus with my friend and I says, no, I said, like, meet you. Like, what do you mean meet you? And he says, like, I still one reason now why I go and meet you again. And he grabbed me and gave me a kiss. He says, there's your reason. He said, I'll see you on Tuesday. But,
Okay.
so that's how I met Willie. But Willie's friend was very like Willie. So,
Okay.
you know,
Later on, lad.
oh, I swear to God, because I rocked up on the Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day it was, or whatever night it was, I couldn't remember what Willie looked like. So I couldn't remember. His friend walked in first and he said, hiya, how's it going? And I'm chatting away to him and like, and the next thing, because I'm your friend with me, and the next thing then, Willie walks in and I'm going, oh shit, it's the wrong fella. Anyway, how are you? So then I realised that was the wrong fella. But they looked at you like Willie was a shirt and tie man, like he wore like a shirt and tie and
Willie's
nice
nice
shoes.
shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even though like that's not in his
Nice
job,
shoes.
in his job, yeah, nice shoes, very good.
I
And
know it's Siobhan.
in his job, like it's completely not shirt and tie. But in his everyday, he wouldn't be a tie fella now, but he'd always be a shirt and trousers, yeah, nice chinos and stuff like that. He likes what he likes clothes. But yeah, that's how I met him. So that was the reason. Then a couple of weeks later, then he said to me, so would you go out with me? And we were out at the time. I said, like, well, I am out. Like, where do you want me to go? And he goes, no, but would you go out with me, like, as, like, steady? And I said, oh, right, okay. So that was in July, August, maybe when we got going, let's say. And then I was engaged in December. Got engaged at Christmas. We didn't hang around. No, got engaged at Christmas. We were 2 kids. I got in awful trouble. Mommy wasn't a bit impressed with me. I said, sure, Mama's done your ring. I'm not getting married in the morning or anything, doesn't hope of any of that. Really's mother had kind of talked him out of it, like, and said, like, you know, are you sure this is what you want? His sisters definitely had said to him, they've told me even that they said to him, like, he was the youngest of 9, like, are you really, like,
He was a baby.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in it, like, do you really want to do this? So that was that. And we just kind of grew up then together after that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we didn't get married for 8 years. I was engaged for 8 years.
Yeah.
So although
I should hope so.
yeah, I was engaged for 8 years because I was still a bit too young. And yeah, so that was it.
Got married on Halloween.
I got married on Halloween because you see, my dad died, as you know. I've previously spoken about that. So he died in November, and Mammy had got married in November. So she said, whatever you do, don't get married in November. She didn't think it was lucky. And the last day.
You got joy to turn the person.
The last day. And that's what I mean. So the last
Don't get
Saturday,
married in November.
the last Saturday was Halloween. So I said, yeah, sure, that's good. I'll take that. Yeah, ain't no bother. So, and it's funny, my niece got married on Halloween as well. Yeah, so yes, that's how I met really. And just rolled from there.
Never looked back since.
Never looked there. No, well, once though.
Willie's sort of up for royalties because we've said his name about 100 times on it.
Yeah. Okay. Good old one. What about you?
What about me? I met Ben on Tinder. No, I didn't meet Ben on Tinder. Ben actually and I met, well, we met a couple of times before we actually became, like, realised it was that between us. I met him, first of all, it was at Ben.
So did you know him?
No. Didn't know him. Met him at a bed push. It was a charity thing in the Mulrennan's pub, which is just up the road in Allen. And he was at that. There was no connection. We didn't get talking. He was just there with his cousin. And
Did you must notice it?
no, I didn't. There was nothing between us. Absolutely nothing. No, we were just in the same room. Everybody was there. Was just out for the crack.
Okay.
Having the crack. It was not. Now Ben had just come away from marriage. Like Ben was
Okay.
married previously.
Okay.
So Ben had just left.
So were you
the
nervous
barn.
about that?
No,
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
about him being married.
Yeah, like
No.
before, yeah.
No. When you get to 40, Siobhan, you can't be picky like. I take that.
No. You're saying that now. So does that mean like
No.
does that mean like it was any caught in a storm?
No. I was very grounded. I know who I am, so I know what I like. And I think for me, your past doesn't bother me once you're a decent person.
Yeah.
Once you have respect. So
I don't know if it
you ask so many questions. That's why you're not. The Ben would have been interrogated in an interview.
Yeah.
Like, really met him. But anyway, that was the night in Glen Push, and nothing between us. Didn't even. I don't think we even had a conversation. We were just there all in passing. Then I was down to town one night with my nephew, and I realised then that Ben was actually friends with my nephew, and he turned up that night. And we were in Betty Dowland's, and we ended up going back to a house party, and it was great old crack. And skateboarding down the stairs, and I wasn't, but one of the others were. They're having the crack. These are all adults at this party, going back to the house party. Ben fell asleep on the couch, and him and the cousin were there, and I said goodnight to everybody. I went on home. It was just around the corner from the house. I went on home, and to this day, he still says, "I can't believe you left me walking home." I said, "I left you sleep on the couch." So there was nothing that night either. And then I met him. It was two communions in the family on the 16th of May in 2016. I mean, I was down in Wales. Now, I wasn't going to go down because one of the communions was in Mammy and Daddy's. They held it in their house.
Yeah.
And then Mam was in the local in Wells's. So when this one was finished, it was finished tidying up everything. I was like ready for bed. But I said, feck it, I'll go down. So when I walked down and walked into the door, Ben was at the end of the counter.
So it was
But I knew it was. I knew straight away, Shimon looking at me. And I was allergic. I was like, oh my
I thought it was
God.
first sight.
No, I was like, this guy's looking at me now, and I'm in the local, and everyone here knows me, and everyone knows my business, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, stop talking to me. Anyway, he came over and he told me that he always liked me, and he did a thing for me, and he, what I liked about for a drink, and I chatted to him, and then I went away. And it just so happened, there was another man there that night, had his eye on me as well. I was in demand. I was in demand for the photo, and I was like, just please leave me alone. I don't want to
Yeah, beer masters in full flow.
Yeah, he said, Ben said to me at the end of the night, I'll give him my number. So I went to get a beer mat to write his number on it, and I left the pub. I'm like, I'm out here. I couldn't wait. I didn't want anyone to see me talking to anybody. Not just Ben.
And getting the number.
And get my number. You know them saying, shite in your own doorstep. I didn't want anyone to know. So I
I
left the pub.
Please don't separate.
I don't care, Shimon. I actually feel I'm going to take a heart attack telling you this.
Okay.
It was just like, oh my God, stop talking to me, stop paying attention to me. Everybody's looking over now and blah, blah, blah. And the fact that I was leaving and he was coming to the door, I was like, they're all going to think I'm bringing him home now. And he's not coming home me and blah, blah, blah. And again, I'm not a prude, but I just have a certain age.
So tell me, so you were 40. 40. Now, did you live here or did you live with your mum and dad?
No, I lived here. I just moved in here.
Okay, so if you were leaving the pub and he was walking out the door with you, even to follow you to say, here's my number, whatever,
Yeah.
you felt that people would have thought you were bringing him home.
Yeah. And I'm like,
But at 40,
yeah.
like, I mean,
yeah, no, it's nobody's business, but that's just me. I just didn't want to have this
at
conversation.
40, I'd be able to say, here, bring him home.
my mother offered him a free toaster, just take her off my hands. But, my brother lived around the corner from the pub, so I literally went into my brother's house, and Ben was wondering why I disappeared anyway. But the next day I got a message off a chap, and if I look up Facebook now,
You probably saved the message.
I still have the message because
Oh
his
God, save the
surname
message.
was Gray. And I can't remember what his first name was. But I was like, who's this? It was somebody Gray. No, I can't find it now. Anyway, Ben will tell me later on.
Matt, you still have the message.
But I didn't do it because Ben sent me a message under this name. And it was his friend's Facebook.
Yeah.
And Ben wasn't on Facebook at the time. And he said, "Hi, this is Ben. I really liked you and love to meet you. And this is my number." And I was like, "Great. What do I do with this now?" Because he knows people. I know people. He knows, blah, blah, blah. I really know. And then it doesn't work out. Blah, blah, blah. And 101 things started to go around my head. So I was like, no, I'm not messaging him.
So you see, we've no Facebook, Nicola.
Yeah. See, well, Facebook.
We have the
kind of
phone box at the end of the road.
Yeah.
That you're down at 7 o'clock and you're wait for the phone to ring.
So I said the following Friday, I was doing actually, for somebody who doesn't want to talk to people, I was up on stage dressed as one of the Venga Boys singing boom, 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 boom. She said in my room. And I was telling my sisters the story about your man leaving his number from the week before. And my sister Issy, or Tricia, her is her name, we call her Issy, she sent me a text from my phone. "Hi Ben, this is Nicola. Would like to meet you for a drink." No reply till the next day because now I know Ben was probably a bit asleep. And so he texts me the next day, and Ben is a very bad texter, and you send him a big message, and all he writes back is, okay. So I'm like, holy jeez, I can't be doing with this. So he said, "Can you wait till after the June bank holiday?" Which would have been 2 to 3 weeks ahead.
He had to build himself up.
I said no. Now I know why, because he was renting a room, he was still paying a mortgage, blah, blah, blah. Finances were kind of weren't great. Trying to figure out where he was going in life.
And he needed a few quid in his pocket to bring you for a pint or whatever.
Funny if you need more of a few to bring me for a pint. And he must have heard about me. But anyway, no, we had because this is too expensive. We went for a drink into coffees. Now, funny enough, I didn't drink, I drove. So I picked him up and we went to coffees.
So they're not to drink.
And he said, I remember sitting there and he kept doing this every time he'd say something or I'd say something like it was remotely funny because you're trying to be, charming and witty and all that on your phone day. And every time I'd say something that's funny, he'd go, "Fuck off." Fuck off. And I swang him about to this day. I was like, what was that? I was like, the weirdest thing. And then just at the end of the
nervous thing.
Oh, purely nervous. You shit myself. There's a couple sitting beside us and they're about 148 years of age. I swear to God, they were decrepit, bless them. And I nearly said they were mummified at this stage. We're held together. What do you go? I turned around and then looked at him and he looked back at me and he said, "That'll be us in 10 years' time." Well, I thought, if that's what I fucking look like in 10 years' time, from then no, I'm not going there. But anyway, that was our first drink. Then our first date was to Blessings and Lakes. And I didn't tell anybody. Didn't want anyone to know again. So I headed off to Blessings and Lakes and pulled into this car park area to go walking.
But why? Why didn't you want anyone to know?
Because I wanted to be telling people I was on a date.
Was that in case you didn't go? Okay.
I mean, you're 40 years of age.
I mean, like, would you not be celebrating the fact that you actually got somebody at 40? Like, come on.
What a bitch. What an absolute. See you next Tuesday.
People actually didn't know how to place.
What? I'm disgusted. Siobhan thinks I'm a prude, and she thinks I'm a very sheltered. But I was on no dates, and she has
that's not hard. That's not hard. That's not
hard. But I went on no dates in my lifetime, and I went through a phase of I drove to Ballinasloe for a date one night. Oh jeez. I went down and I met this very cool guy, drove a motorbike, came in, I was drinking coffee, he got a cup of tea, and got on grand, and then
now did he come a good distance as well? Yeah. Did you do all the distance?
No. He
half
a good
half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was a little bit more than half, but I like driving, you see. So
okay. And he was on
that
bike.
So he was coming on bike. Yeah. So then he said at the end of the date, he said to me, "So do you want to stay?" And I said, "Where?" He said, "Here." I said, "No, thank you. Good luck now. Out the gap." He had booked you in and all. So you see, that's a job again. So you could be the nicest guy under the sun, but if I had stayed that night, I would have never seen him again the next morning.
And if you hadn't had Ben.
Well, I wouldn't have been. Well, I wouldn't have had anyone because he wouldn't have bothered seeing me the next morning or anything after that. It's all, it's a very, very,
that's what they do now. isn't it?
yeah, it's unless you're going with an open mind and don't be putting your eggs into the one basket because there is such a dodgy element out there in everything. But in online dating, people think, sure, I'll give it a try. That's the way things are going. It's not. It is a cesspool of preverts, as my mother would say. It's full of preverts. But yeah, there's a lot of dodgy characters on there. So you have to be careful. Take what it means to salt. Always be safe. Always go. Let somebody know when you're going to meet them. Now, she not telling anyone. But I always told somebody if I was going on a date. Like I would have told a friend I was going to meet Ben that day.
Yeah, because you know what? You just don't know what's out there.
Don't know what's out there. You can't trust anybody.
So Ben was the one.
Ben was the one. I was actually going to jump him on the third date. I went to meet, I was coming back from Michaeli in Leash. And he asked me to meet him, and I thought, I can't be done with this. I just want to go home and have a shower and I'm not been dancing. And this thing of texting in the morning, how are you? How did you sleep? Or what are you doing today? I'm like, oh God. When I send him back a text and he comes back with, okay. That's all he writes. He's a terrible text.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be arsed with that. So I was kind of like, I don't really want to do this. But then I went and picked him up and we went to coffee in the drive-through. And whatever way he looked at me that evening, whatever way he turned, I knew I could trust him.
Yeah, nothing beats a chat.
So it doesn't. In person. Communication is key. Confidence through conversation, Siobhan. That's what we're all about.
Just the school teacher.
This is me, I just think it doesn't matter what it is. Like, as I said, I was at an event on Friday night. It was in Amla Court, Ladies Let's Talk event. It was with Jennifer Drum. And it was about menopause and women's health. And the funds went to Mental Health Ireland as well. But I went because, number one, it's a networking event for me.
Yeah.
What I do, I'm meeting other people. Number two, it's a social event. It's a safe social event. Number three, I'm in with like-minded people.
And anyone could have went to that event.
Anyone could have went.
Okay.
Yeah. I bought a ticket and I went. Anyone, it was open to anyone. But anyone could go. But it doesn't matter if it's only the opening of an envelope. I would be a pure advocate for get out of the comfort zone.
And go.
Yeah. Go. If there is something going on in your local, like, it doesn't matter what it is, go to it. Go to a crochet class, go to an art class, go to a choir, go to a meeting, go to anything. There's meditation groups. Excuse me, there's everything going on at the minute. Yeah. It builds your confidence.
Yeah, and I think the more times you actually have a conversation with people and the more times you actually have a chat with people, I suppose it does make a difference. And you know what? There's things that we don't know. And from conversation with other people, then you realise, you know what? This is not unlike my story. You know what I mean? This is...
Yeah, everybody has something.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It doesn't matter. Like, only last week I said to you, last week, the week before, whatever, 2 weeks, I don't know. The time is just this. Like, January was like 742 days in January, and now
I know, can you believe it? Like, it's scary. Can you believe it?
Like, I said, I went swimming one day. I went swimming for no reason whatsoever. I started to take panic attacks in the pool. Now, I have been told since that it could be menopausal. I'm ignoring menopause.
Willie doesn't believe in menopause, you know that?
Willie's a man.
No, honestly, he just does not get the whole thing that he doesn't kind of get the whole thing that women actually have menopause. And like, I'm finished my period since Christmas.
Yeah.
So I haven't had anything to Christmas. Now, I had stopped a couple of times last year on and off for 2 or 3 months and then come back again. So since this was, I feel like I'm on the home straight. So please do not come back again. If you're listening to me, God up there, please do not send them back again. I'm very happy without them. But I get the sweats. So I literally can feel it rolling from my toes. It comes up the whole way up. When it gets to the stomach, it kind of gives like, you know, like you feel like you need to get sick for a second.
Yeah.
So it gives that little turnabout and then it goes on and up out my head. So that's the only way I can describe it to you, right? So it'll happen. All of a sudden, it'll last for about 5 minutes and then move on with itself. It could happen once in a day. It could happen 10 times in a day, but it happens, right? So I am in menopausal. No point. Like, I'm happy enough to say that.
Yeah.
But really does not, when I say to him, here, I can't talk to you a minute, I have to sweat. He go, come on, Siobhan. He says, like, you're not going through the menopause. I don't think he realises, like, I am 52 years of age, I am getting the menopause.
He probably doesn't realise he's 50.
No, he's like forever young, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know that I live my life by forever young. I love that song. That's me. That's my life. That's the song. But you know what? Honest to God, he cannot get it in his head that, hello, she is menopausal.
Probably it's like, it's men don't want to age. I know women like try their best to stay as fresh and as youthful. I'm not doing
Now,
it.
who's doing drinks? So I think if he was a woman, he'd be menopausal.
Menopausal, yes. Ben Conley, we joined the gym because we started swimming, to try and get the knee right. And we joined the gym, but they had a rate for over 50s, and Ben refused to pay for the rate because it was over 50s. He said, no, I'm going to pay the full rate. I said, we got 120 euro off. He said, no. So Moody is probably knowing your menopause.
Yeah, he is.
Because he's getting older as well.
Yeah, and really different. And like,
Psychological.
I do say to him, do you know what, Will? Like, when he's all dressed up and everything, and he's gorgeous, I have to say. I can say that as he's mine. But Will will say, so then I say, and he has a couple of little lines, and I'd say, do you want to come on because we might get two for the price of one?
Oh, the Phantom. Yeah, you get the Fountain of Youth. Fountain.
No, it's not called Fountain of Youth, it's called Fountain Medical. So it's shaped out there to the Fountain of Medical.
Shimon gets injection.
Yes, I do. I definitely do. I get them here and I get them here and here. Love it, you will. If you follow me, you'll know that I do. I love getting them done. It's like, even though they don't work instantly, it's like my instant boost. I get it done about twice a year. Love it. I'm always saying to Willie. Now, when I look at you and I don't judge because they could do something like, I've no interest in that. I get it done for me, because of me, and just for me. Like, love it. 3 little spots done. I love when the forehead doesn't really move. I love when that's kind of like, the kids do say, I'm surprised. Look, and do you know what I do say? Yeah, I'm surprised at all the things you do. That's why that is. Because when I had that line there, it was, I don't fucking believe that you do.
It's not how I called you doing it back.
What did you call me? You called me a few things. So what did you call me?
Today she came back after getting them done, and I looked at her and there are two white guys, you're up at the back.
So McDonald's.
Yeah, so look, you're like the golden artist. Like the golden McDonald's.
Yeah.
And two white guys going,
and I don't have, like, well, I'm a very thin eyebrows anyway. So so when they are pumped up a little bit, so they do definitely look like the McDonald's sign. I don't even mind that. But honestly, I just mind the injection thing. No, you don't get it. I used to get, I used to get injections in my knee a couple of weeks ago, last week or whatever, and I actually was sick with the thought of that because it's the injection thing. No, I know it's going to be a pinch and all that. You don't even feel this, Nicola. You don't. It's like, for all the words, just like a little tip. But you know what? It just gives you that lovely feeling. You can just, you don't feel it at all. I don't even say it's a feeling. It's hard to describe. But you do feel that little prick there. But honest to God, it's just, you just feel something after.
Women have to go through so much. And I know, like, I keep saying I'm going to.
But do we do that? Do we put ourselves through so much, in fairness?
What do you mean?
Like, we don't have to go to get them things.
Well, I don't pluck my eyebrows.
I
don't pluck them even.
Because I used to pluck them, and now I probably
have to shave your legs, you have to shave your underarms, you might have to do your foo-foo if you like, whatever you want. I don't know, whatever's in Brazilian, non-Brazilian, airstrip.
I need to have to do my dazzle. Every time I get in the shower, I have to, like.
I don't.
Well, I do every time I get in the shower.
I can't do my legs because I have lymphedema, so I only can do them every so often.
Maybe hairy legs.
Yeah. Siobhan, all you never say that. Like a minstrel, you see my hands, my face.
But my mum hasn't seen that. You know what my mum says to, like, she said that she never shaved her legs. And as a result, then, she has no hairs on her legs. Like, I know she's 82.
I don't have light hair, but I started shaving when I started swimming.
Yeah,
because I'm an athlete now. So I started shaving and I started putting tan on them because it made me feel a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I put that moisturising tan on, gradual tan or whatever. But it made me feel, and plus I lightened my hair as well.
I know, so, there's no stopping you now.
No, come on, I'm blonde bombshell.
Come on.
But I felt a tan made me look a bit healthier.
I do think
tan does help. But it also made me feel a bit more confident getting into the pool. Now I'm over it. I couldn't care less.
I don't care now.
No, I don't care. But I haven't been swimming this week yet, so I didn't bond any tan, but I think I'll go swimming tomorrow, so I might bond a tan tonight.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's shave, you have to keep your hair, like, lads don't really have to, they do, there's a lot more titivating now to men than there was years ago.
There is, but there's still not as much as a woman.
There's not, and I just said, we were packing the other day, we said Ben going to Killarney, and I'd bring like 5 dresses, and me makeup, me hairbrush, me hairdryer, me straightener, me shampoo, me conditioner, me gel or whatever it is, that volume hold stuff, lenses, lotions, potions, perfumes. Ben puts in a razor, a bottle of deodorant and a bar of soap.
Now, the other thing about menopause,
Or just use a bit of moisturiser.
facial hair.
Or have a beard, sure.
I hate.
I'm like Gandalf.
I actually
And my mother used to sit
I
in
haven't
his
got
hair.
beard, but I have a few hairs there.
I
now.
bet you
Five.
mine, though.
Fucking sure I
That's
do.
why you don't have a beard.
But you know what? And I've even really gone mad because obviously Willie is older now. So he has hairs in his nose. Same as everybody does have hairs in their nose, okay? So I pluck all the hairs in my nose. I pluck if I have any hairs here. I am just, and ears,
I know.
ears,
How your nose?
ears. Oh my God, in your nose.
In your nose.
For a man, he has the hair.
Oh, I thought you meant you.
No. Well, I did mine as well.
I did mine as well. Do you?
Oh, everywhere. Yeah, I have a thing about hairs. Yeah, I don't like hairs.
Oh, I won't be picking you up.
And you know what? Now, even when I'm sitting and I'm talking to Willie, and and if he has a hair in his ear, I'm going, "Will you have a hair in your ear?" That freaks me out. Well, yeah, no, and menopause drives. It's the one thing I could take anything. It's the one thing I absolutely hate, and I'm all the time. Now, if I got a little hair there now, that would drive.
I have non-tweezers up in the room. I'm bringing them.
I drive tweezers everywhere.
Yeah, I haven't my travel bag. I actually must get one to put my handbag. But there's always this side here. There's always one or two little hairs, and then when you pluck them, they're like white. They're always the white ones are the hardest ones to pluck.
And even if I had the bag in the car, I've a razor in the glove compartment that if I spotted one, I'll just razor it off.
Razor?
Yeah, swear to God, I put my hand up and I know those people say, "No,
I
you
didn't
didn't
buy a German
No.
blade. You know the
I
German
did.
blade? Well,
You see, I feel like that's not
I
just
shaved.
then shaving and then you have it back again.
yeah, no, I did. I shaved it because I always had very fine, fluffy hair on the side of me
They say
face.
though it's better, like your makeup sits better and everything after you dermablade. Like I don't know, does it or not? I don't know.
Unless you're
But hairs in general,
Kate
absolutely
Moss,
wreck
whoever
my
the model
head.
is now, Gigi Hadid, whoever they
Yeah.
are, I don't think it makes a difference to me.
No, hair's just
no one's going to walk by me because I have a fuzzy face.
No, but it is
Funny face, isn't it?
another thing where menopause is like anxiety.
Yeah, I can see why. I can see,
Like women have lots of love.
but it's the changes in your body because like I haven't had a period since 2024 because I got the coil in.
Oh, okay.
So it's the changes in your body.
Yeah, but so that's not you. So how do you know whether your periods have stopped? You don't.
You don't. I don't know.
Okay.
But I've always had trouble with my periods.
Yeah.
I had a period for 18 months straight one time.
Yeah, you see, I used to have very heavy ones, but never.
No, 18 months without 1 day break.
Oh,
That
no.
1 day break, I was like absolutely just worn out because obviously you're losing blood. I was just tired. I was
Do
exhausted.
you know what I just say?
Oh, it was terrible.
When I used to get mad, like when I used to get my periods, I'd say, if they were annoying me at home, I'd say, "Come here and I tell you, how many people do you know can bleed solid for a week and still be alive? Fucking watch it. Watch it." Like that's what I used to say.
Well, 18 months now would be a long time.
Yeah, 18 months, I'd be definitely afraid
18
of
months. But I do think with the changes, because as I said to Ben the other day,
But it's talked about a lot.
pain in my knee, the pain in my hip, the things that you get with age,
Yeah.
like all those things. And while I'm trying myself to better myself for the sake of that, it's just a constant struggle to look after your health when you get that bit older. I think that might contribute to your mood as well.
The menopause.
Yeah.
You see, I think, in all honesty, it definitely does. And I also think that, like, I know it's spoken about, like years ago, you never heard of anyone having the menopause. You heard about them period stop, but you never heard, the other side effects that people have.
Because you weren't allowed to talk about mental health years ago.
No.
You weren't allowed to talk. You weren't allowed to be unwell in your mental health. You were just having a bad day. You're going through a time or whatever. They never said mentally she's not well.
Yeah, but do
Ever.
you not think sometimes that, like, people say she's so with her mental health because something's after happening in her life and she's having a tough time at the moment, so it goes on for a week, a day, a month, and then people give her that label that, oh no, it's her mental health. No, it's not. There's something going on that you can't put it under the whole big bracket of mental health. There's something going on, something's happened in her life, and it is affecting her, and it will affect her for a day, a month, a week, whatever it is, right? So it's not necessarily mental health.
But it could be.
No, so would you call that anxiety or would you call that mental health?
Could be you were going down a rabbit hole.
That's what I mean. So
There's
I
more
just,
to that.
I just feel it's not fair to.
I had something happen to me, and you see me. I went out.
Yeah.
My mental health went out the window, and I was at. If I hadn't got Ben Conley, I'd say I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Would you
I
think?
was at such a low. Yes, I was at an extreme low, Siobhan. It was the worst time of my entire life. I've never felt. I felt for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was coming out, I was coming out well in my own life.
Yeah.
Well, as in like things started to settle in place.
Yeah.
And I was trying to, I was finding my own feet, my own confidence and whatever. And then this person came and took everything away from me, like stripped me of my own identity, like out of just
Yeah.
pure madness. And it really gave me, I had an all-time low from it. And I'm very aware now, I say I won't allow anyone to make me feel that insignificant again. But that's not in my power. Something could happen tomorrow
No.
that could do that. But then there's people out there, and it is a chemical imbalance that causes them to have mental health issues. Like, it's not just something that happens, it's
Yeah.
just something they're wrong with. There's so many different ways you could go from one end of the year to the other, and you will never find the answer to mental health, menopause, or just generally being a woman.
Yeah, but it's nice
It's
to
an
know that
anomaly.
it is
An
nice
anomaly?
to know that, like, if you are at that menopausal age, and there are times when, something is affecting you, probably more than it would on a normal day. It is nice to know that it is actually your body's reaction, that it's not necessarily, that you're going down this rabbit hole, that you are actually going to be suffering from mental health, that it is a moment in it, that it is part of it, and it is, that there is a bigger reason. That's what I mean. There is a reason.
I went to the doctor a couple of years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, and I went in and I asked her something. I'm going to be perimenopausal. Wasn't even before, maybe 3 years ago, would it be perimenopausal? And she said, if you got wart on your nose to tell you it's perimenopausal, she said, just go whatever's going on with you for now and take it from there.
And I went in with headaches one time there a couple of years ago, and I says to the girl, I says to the doctor, like, would it, this headache, I said, would it? Now, at the time, when I look back, there was a lot going on in my life at that particular time, and I did end up with high blood pressure. But I genuinely think they put me on the tablets and whatever, and we haven't revisited that because there was a lot going on. I would now stage that she asked me that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She put me on the tablets and that was it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I said to her, would it be menopausal? I said, would it be that? Would it be a hormone change or whatever? She said to me, oh, that's a different appointment. She said, you'll have to book a longer appointment.
More money.
You'll have to book a longer appointment. She said, it's the menopausal appointment clinic. And she said, it's a longer appointment, so you'll have to book that. She says. So I never revisited because I'm going, okay, you just don't want to know. Like, I only asked, would it be? Like, could it be? Nothing.
Yeah.
So I suppose we are fobbed off a little bit.
Well, fobbed off a little bit, and it's okay, everybody. And I said, and again, I will push this out there. Communication is key. Put yourself out there, get yourself out there, get into groups. If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling, at home and the 4 walls closing in, you don't know what's going on, there is helplines, there's groups, not even for mental health. I'm just talking about in general. There is activities, there's meetup. There's in Kildare actually, there's a great, there's the K Dolls, I think it's called in Kildare, they have a meetup for women. All around Kildare, the K Dolls. So in Kildare area, certainly give them a look, and I'm sure there's similar in around the country. I know Network Ireland have different groups all over the country.
And Lady Shed or Men's Shed or
Men's Shed,
whatever.
yeah.
That seems to be a big thing.
All those.
Well. So
fantastic. Mingle, communicate, conversation.
And if all else fails, you can actually DM us or send us an email.
Yeah.
And we will certainly get back to you as well.
Yes, absolutely. I often say if there's anything anyone ever wants to talk to me about, you know where I am. So that's it for this week on This Big Life. If you want to get in touch, our email is thisbiglife@yahoo.com. You can send us an email there. You can get through to us on any of our platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. It's Siobhan My Fab Covey Life or Nicola Moran Salvant. Nicola Moran Salvant. Yes, that's it. So you'll find us there. And thank you so much to everybody that joined us for the last few weeks. We really do appreciate it. Keep liking and sharing. Please and thank you. We want to get this out here. And if the two Johnnies are listening, please get in touch because we're being unable to go on your show. Your podcast tonight again. I think we fancy the Johnnies. She didn't sound good, did it? No. Well, until we talk to you all very, very soon again next week. That would be. Yeah, next week. Have a great week. And just enjoy. Bye.
We talk. Hey, you made it. Take a breath. This is your moment. Right here, right now. We talk big dreams, small steps, real days, messy hearts, and finding our way. life.